Welcome to the Unapologetic Man Podcast, the only podcast that's all about self-improvement, confidence, success, women, and being a man without making any apologies for it. What is up, you champions? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the UMP. I really do appreciate it. And today, I want to give you some really pragmatic ways to boost your testosterone by 7x in the next week. And the things that I'm going to tell you aren't just philosophy, they're real tactile things you can do today to improve your testosterone, because as you probably know, there are tons of things out there that are reducing our testosterone. Things like soaps, deodorants, laundry detergent, the food that we eat, the chemicals that we use to clean our house. All these chemicals around us don't just have no effects. There's actually plenty of documented detrimental effects that these things cause, many of which affecting our sperm count, our testosterone, as well as our well-being. Because honestly, the people who are trying to sell you this stuff, they just want to make money. So when it comes to food particularly, what are they going to do to try to make more money? They're going to make that food taste as good as possible. They're going to make it as addicting as possible so that you continue to buy more. But what's happening when they do that is they're actually poisoning us. Now, poison is obviously somewhat of a subjective word. You may think of poison as they are killing you the moment that you eat the food, but the way I'm using it here is it has long-term detrimental effects such as cancer, heart disease, obesity, things like that. So when I talk about the things that I'm going to speak about today, you have to take each thing with a grain of salt, because I know a lot of people get really offended. They get butthurt, as I like to say, when you talk about these things, because it kind of goes into opinion. It goes to subjective thought about whether or not this is true. But this is all based on research. I'm not going to give you guys just hippy-dippy bullshit that doesn't have research to substantiate it. I went to bat for you. I researched this shit, and I really changed my lifestyle when I learned about this stuff several years ago. I just went down a bunch of rabbit holes last night as well as today. I probably put about 5 hours into this, researching for you guys, because I want to give you the best, most reliable information. But as with all things, put it through your own filter first. If you don't believe me or you don't like what I'm saying, then go fucking research it. But based on my experience, based on the way I live my life, this has worked really well for me to up my testosterone, to make myself feel better, to be healthy, to sleep better, to have better sex, to have a boner that looks like the size of the Statue of Liberty, to be able to be potent enough to have myself a beautiful little girl, not shooting blanks because of all the poison and pesticides, as well as in laundry detergent, etc. So I truly believe that my research and my experience is substantiated, but you have to run it through your own filter. So I suggest all you guys do that before you send me a butthurt email criticizing me or insulting me for what I'm about to say. Do your own research and make your own conclusion, okay? All that matters is how you feel about it, what you are going to choose to do with this information. I'm just going to give it to you. Take it or leave it. All right, so obviously I'm going to talk about tangible things here that you could do today. And gentlemen, I stand strongly behind this one. You got to change your fucking laundry detergent. Laundry detergent has this stuff in it called phthalates. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Neither here nor there, it doesn't matter. But what's important is in most laundry detergents, they have what are endocrine disrupting chemicals, EDCs. Endocrine system has something to do with producing testosterone. So when you wash your clothes in most detergents like Bounty and Ultra Soft and whatever the fuck, you are putting inside your body endocrine disrupting chemicals, because they get on your clothes, you wear the clothes, they get in through your skin, and then they start disrupting your testosterone production. Long time ago, I switched to this stuff called 7th generation laundry detergent, and I did some research on it. I found that it had a lot of good ingredients, and it didn't have these phthalates that basically disrupt your endocrine system. God, these are hard to pronunciate. I hope I'm doing it correctly, but just switch laundry detergent, brother. And here's the thing I want you to do. Go get the free app, and no, I'm not sponsored by them. I have nothing to do with them, but go get the free app called Think Dirty. Once again, that's Think Dirty, and what it does is it scans barcodes of different products and tells you how safe the ingredients are within them. So what you do is you go to the supermarket, you have this app, It accesses your camera, it scans the barcode, and it's actually pretty cool. And then it comes up with information on the thing. So everything that I'm going to tell you to buy today, and once again, I'm not sponsored by any of these fuckers, but anything that I tell you to buy today, I have vetted myself through that app called Think Dirty. No, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I don't have any degrees behind my name to substantiate this. I'm just telling you my regular man experience and what I've done to hopefully increase my testosterone, which will hopefully increase your testosterone as well. Go get that app, Think Dirty. I believe it's free. They do have a premium feature, but I don't even pay for that because what it does is it scans the barcode, tells you what the ingredients are, and then you're off to the races. All right, so the first thing is let's switch our laundry detergent. The next thing is let's switch the soaps and lotions that we use on a day-to-day basis. I use a soap and lotion called Everyone. You could get this at the hippy dippy stores. I go to Sprouts is where I get it. They also have it at Natural Grocers, and I'm almost sure they have it at Whole Foods. But any of those that you go to, these hippy dippy places, walk in there with your phone with the app Think Dirty and just scan barcodes. Choose one that you like the smell of. I personally go for scentless, but what I use is Everyone shampoo, body wash, and I think it's a bubble bath all in one. And I use that to wash my hair, wash my face, wash under my stinky ass armpits, and wash the 1970s muff underneath the belt. And it keeps me fresh and it's not putting bullshit into my system. They're free of those things called parabens, phthalates, as well as biphenyl A, which is a chemical that can reduce testosterone, and biosynthesia and secretion, which can lead to lower testosterone levels and fewer sperm. So if you want to drop that baby batter and have yourself a child in the future, guys, sperm count is going down so quickly. There's actually studies that say we won't even have humanity anymore after several thousand years because sperm count is dropping that quickly. What I think is going to happen is podcasts like this one are going to convince guys like you, champions like you, to use products that are far healthier for you. And then the sperm count will start going up again. Testosterone will start going up again. But what's happened is companies that don't always have our best interest in mind, but instead have the stockholders' interest in mind, trying to make the most money, put chemicals in there because, yeah, sometimes they're more effective. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. Would I rather use some essential oils with salt and vinegar to clean up my stove? Or would I rather use that bald motherfucker, Mr. Clean, and just nuke this shit? Obviously, Mr. Clean cleans better. Obviously, if you use deodorant with aluminum in it, it's going to prevent you from sweating. But guys, all this shit has ramifications. I mean, let's not get it twisted. A bunch of organic blueberries don't taste nearly as good as a freaking Frosty from Dairy Queen, but you're paying the price in the end. Do what's hard, your life will be easy. Do what's easy, your life will be hard. Doing what's easy is buying all those crap products as well as crap food that tastes good, and then you pay the consequences later with heart disease, cancer, obesity, lower sperm count, lower testosterone, and then you look like a chicken McNugget with tits. So what I suggest again, go into the hippy dippy stores, get yourself some shampoo and some lotion. I don't know about you, but I use lotion every day. Get some of that shit that's good for you. Another tip that I want to recommend to you boys is use sunscreen, or as my 4-year-old daughter calls it, sunscreen. Use that shit every day because it'll prevent wrinkles and keep you young and youthful. I personally use this stuff. I can't remember the name. It's something botanicals that I got at Sprouts. Once again, man, I just ran that Think Dirty app through it. It said it was good to go, and I use the stuff. I don't like stuff to make me smell like a girl, so I always get scentless, but I use at least SPF 50 every single day. And here's another quick tip. I'm so glad I remembered this. Boys, use sunscreen on your tattoos, you idiots. If you saw my tattoos right now, you would be like, brother, those are less than 3 months old. But I'm being honest with you. They are 7 years old and they look brand spanking new. Why? Because I wear sunscreen on them every single day. I also wear an arm sleeve over it when I'm in direct sunlight. I have tattoos here on my forearm. I have a Buddha as well as Apollo the Archer, who's the protector of Sparta. And I have a Spartan warrior down by my wrist and 1111 tattooed below the Buddha. And when girls ask me, why do you have an 1111 tattooed on your arm? I always say, it's my garage door code. I have a really bad memory. It makes them laugh. But I rock sunscreen on that Bad Jackson. Dude, it looks brand fucking new. So I strongly suggest that you keep that shit out of the sun when you can. Wear sunscreen on it if it's in the sun. I'm telling you, sun ruins tattoos so quickly. especially if you have white in your tattoos as I do. Super important. All right, so we're gonna stop using that crap laundry detergent. I suggest seventh generation. I also suggest seventh generation for your dishwashing detergent, as well as the soap that you use to clean your dishes. But I'm not touting that brand specifically because I'm sponsored by them. I just like them, and they're available Safeway, King Supers, Vaughn's, Sprouts, Whole Foods, wherever you happen to shop, it is there. All right, so in addition to that, we're gonna stop using crappy soaps and lotions, and we're also going to switch our deodorant. Now, when it comes to deodorant, as I often talk about in this podcast, you don't wanna have BO. There was this guy in high school who had the worst BO ever, so we called him Bo Jackson. Remember Bo Jackson? He was that really good baseball player. And Homeboy, the guy who we called Bo Jackson because he had really smelly armpits, thought that we were complimenting him because he could hit like Bo Jackson. But that wasn't why we called him Bo Jackson. It was because he had some nasty BO. So when I tell you to switch deodorants, I do so very carefully because BO is something I absolutely detest when I go into the locker room or when I'm playing sports with guys or rolling with them in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Oh my hell, there are some dudes out there that have the worst BO ever. So I'm going to say this very carefully, but if you shave your armpits, that's going to eliminate 80% of it. And then use some of that hippy dippy deodorant. God, I say this carefully because a lot of that shit doesn't work very well. What I use is this like salt mineral based deodorant. Works pretty good for me, but I will admit, when it's time to go out at night, I throw on the speed stick unscented because that shit works, right? It totally prevents BO with the shaved armpit. It prevents the smelly waft coming out when I'm spinning girls and dancing with them at the cowboy bars. So I will rock that when it's a special night. But day-to-day stuff, I just rock the hippy dippy stuff because Speed Stick, Old Spice, Axe, all that kind of stuff does have aluminum in it. I believe, I can't speak for every single brand, but I believe a lot of them have an aluminum in it. I don't know about you, but isn't that weird? You're putting aluminum in the form of a paste underneath your arms and you like absorb it into your body. Ugh, it just creeps me out to think about that. So get the hippy dippy stuff and just be careful though, because honestly, some of that shit doesn't work very well. But let's just get pragmatic. Let's start thinking, how can I prevent myself from being poisoned? Which goes to my next point. Gentlemen, you do not understand how much poison they put in our food via pesticides, via sugar, via ingredients that are literally banned in some countries. Did you guys know that Skittles are banned through most of Europe, as are Nilla wafers, Wheat Thins, I believe Doritos, as well as a few others, because they have this ingredient in it called Red 5, I think it is. If it's not called Red 5, forgive me, it's Red something. That red something, whatever the fuck it is, some chemical that some mad scientist made in the lab to make food taste better, is poisonous, literally poisonous. So they banned it in certain countries. It's not banned in the United States because companies, again, they're going for money. America's the richest nation, and there's a reason that is. It's because we're just consumers and we just sell fucking poison to each other. So look out for all those foods that have all these ingredients in it. And generally speaking, gentlemen, it's like this. The less humans mess with it, the better it probably is for you. So yes, boys, this is a podcast about telling you to eat organic. And no, I'm not going to the hippie circle tonight to play my harp. I am not a hippie. In fact, I consider myself a punk rock, unapologetic motherfucker who bashes heads, takes names, and kicks ass, but I don't want to be poisoned. I want to live long and not get cancer, not get heart disease, not be obese. I want to be shredded with the high testosterone. I want a boner that looks like the Sears Tower, and I want to be able to fuck my girl Marissa all night in the stabbing cabin, also known as the Casa de Champion, my new basement. So this is coming from one brother to another. You have to be careful about what you eat. Do not eat fruit, vegetables sprayed with pesticide. Generally speaking, you want to also avoid food that is found in the middle of the supermarket, the chips aisle, the cookie aisle, the cereal aisle. I don't know how many Americans are listening, but have you ever walked through the cereal aisle and just marvel at the tens of thousands of choices? Did you guys know that things like Honey Smacks, Rice Krispies, and anything with the anime character on it, they actually have the eyes looking downward because they want to make eye contact with children who are walking by? All right, so let's say Tony the Tiger and his Frosted Flakes, filled with sugar, which is basically poison for children, is sitting up there specifically marketed to kids so that the kid makes eye contact with Tony the Tiger, tugs on his mom's dress, and says, "Mommy, mommy, could I please have the Frosted Flakes?" This is how marketing works. And all they're trying to do to you, bro, is sell to you. Also, in a lot of packages that say organic on it. So honestly, I don't even get my meat from the supermarket anymore. I get it from places where they're grown locally, they're organic, they're grass fed, they're humanely raised, and most importantly, they don't have pesticides. They send it to me, and I eat that kind of organic, grass fed meat, including red meat, pork, chicken. That's all part of my diet. And I get the freshest vegetables possible, oftentimes from farmers markets. And by the way, farmers markets are an awesome place to meet girls. So easy to open chicks. So how's the broccoli look today? Last week it wasn't that good. Boom, open. That's actually how I met Marissa, by the way. I walked up to her and she was looking at peaches. And I was like, how are the peaches today? Last week they weren't that ripe. Boom, open. So boys, choose your diet or your diet's going to choose you, and you are going to be poisoned. Did you know that they've proven that McDonald's salt, I'm just talking about the salt here, not the other crap that they put in McDonald's, is poisonous. It has something like 26 ingredients. And one of them, don't quote me on this, but one of them is a bona fide poison just to make it taste better. They also add sugar to their salt, as weird as that sounds, to make it taste better. That's why those French fries are so damn addicting. But did you know you can leave a McDonald's Happy Meal out and it will never rot? They did that in Denmark or some shit, where the last McDonald's meal was sold in like 1984 and it's still there. They have it in a box and it never corroded, it never got moldy, it never rotted because there's so many preservatives in it. Poison, boys. Don't put that shit in your body temple. You are an unapologetic masculine alpha silverback. Let all those other beta cucks eat that crap, get fat, get heart disease, get unattractive to women, and lower their testosterone. Upping your testosterone is getting back to purity. Eating like we did back in the day when they didn't poison everything with pesticides and extra ingredients like Red 6 or whatever it is. You have to defend yourself from those people who are trying to poison you. And I say that with utmost sincerity. You, brother, have to take a conscious effort to make sure that you're not being poisoned. It's just the way it is. And you could take that effort today in the next 7 days to radically boost your testosterone, which will happen very quickly. You'll feel better, sleep better, get better boners, get better orgasms, be more attractive to women, be a towards-oriented, ass-kicking MFer, because I know that's what you want. All right, guys, now that we have discussed some of the pragmatic things you can do, switching laundry detergent, switching soap, lotion, dude, switch your toothpaste too. They put freaking fluoride in toothpaste. Fluoride has been proven to lower your IQ. They've done studies on this where places where they pump fluoride into the water have a lower average IQ than places where they don't. Get your water filtered. Do not drink that shit that's out of the faucet. It has fluoride in it. You guys have to protect yourself from being poisoned. I'm telling you, it's at every single turn. Now, I'm not telling you to go sleep in an oxygen chamber like Michael Jackson or get your water filtered before you take a shower or go live out in the boonies and try to go off the grid and grow a muff down below that looks like you have an Ewok in your pants. Everybody be calm. Let's just be pragmatic. Question everything. Because what they're trying to do is get your money. Ask yourself, why does this thing have so many chemicals in it? Why am I buying Mr. Clean? Because it has a cool bald looking dude with some epic earrings on it? What's the chemicals that's in this? Let me scan it with Think Dirty. Oh shit, 5 of these chemicals are poison. There's one study, and I don't necessarily believe this, that says if you use common household products to clean your kitchen, such as, for example, and I'm not saying this is the product, I'm just using an example, such as like 409 or Mr. Clean, it says if you use it once to clean your kitchen, it's equivalent to smoking a pack of cigarettes a day for a week because it creates that much lung damage in your lungs. Now, again, I don't know if this is hearsay, but I'm not going to fuck with it. I look at the back of it and I see all these chemicals. I'm good, man. I want like 5 or less ingredients, and hopefully most of them are natural things like vinegar, salt, which by the way, you can clean anything with vinegar. I know it stinks bad, but if there's grease on the counter, you can clean it with vinegar and salt just as well as 409 Clean Freak, for example, which is going to roast your lungs. And then in 20 years, you're going to be in the hospital with lung cancer, having to go through chemo. Fuck that. My number one fear, bro, is going through chemo or anything similar where I have to be debilitatingly sick. I'm avoiding that shit like the plague. I'd rather use the hippy dippy stuff than mess with that, but maybe that's just me. All right, now let's get into some things you can do, some actions you can take to boost your testosterone, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this up. So first of all, boys, it has been proven scientifically that approaching and talking to hot girls boosts your testosterone. So get out there, talk to hot chicks, as does sex. Sex with the hot girls skyrockets your testosterone. But you know what lowers it? You know what I'm going to say? Too much masturbating. They have proven that if you abstain from masturbating for 7 days, it is going to increase your testosterone by 146% over baseline levels. So I'm not the dude that tells people to no fap. I don't believe in it. No fap means no masturbation. I'm the dude that says masturbate less, approach more, have more sex. You could still rub one out every once in a while because I know sometimes it's fun and sometimes you need to fall asleep at night, and nothing helps you fall asleep faster than rubbing one out. I know where you're coming from, but slow down, bro. You got hair on your palms. You're going for a record. Slow it down, man. Once a week, I think that's plenty. Some of you guys are like, hell no, dude, I'm going to do it once a week. Hey, do what you can. Just try to abstain from it. Also, guys, you want to conquer goals, get shit done. Knock out to-do lists, be towards oriented, which means go towards your goals. Don't run away from that which you fear. Set big goals, be unapologetic, reduce body fat, build more muscle. And the final thing I want to talk about is called grounding. Have you guys ever heard of this where you go walk outside with your feet in the grass or your feet on the beach like a hippy dippy, heart playing, drum circle loving, soap dodging tree hugger? It works. It has been proven. I've done a ton of research on this to work. And because it lowers cortisol levels, because it helps you sleep more, it also, as a side effect, helps testosterone. But gentlemen, I'm telling you, if you get your feet in the grass for 20 minutes a day or on the beach or out in the park or whatever it is huge for your health. It really reduces inflammation, especially if you have an injury. This is really good to do. It basically cures jet lag. I've done this many times when I've had to fly to different cities. You just walk outside barefoot in some grass, immediately makes you feel better. And I even have a mat on my bed that grounds me while I sleep. If you guys haven't heard of grounding before, also called earthing, I strongly suggest you do some research on it. I should probably even do a podcast episode on it, but we're already running into 30 minutes here, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I gave you guys a lot to think about, but generally speaking, the point is this: they are poisoning you. That is not a myth. It's not my opinion. It's not some message because I'm some far left liberal MFer. This is true. You are being poisoned on a day-to-day basis. You need to figure out a way to take your life into your own hands and make sure you are poisoned as little as possible. Eating pure foods, using pure products, taking away anything that reduces testosterone, that gives you cancer, that gives you heart disease, makes you obese, and all the other negative ramifications of other people's greed. And listen, when it comes to leaders of those companies and people who are on the board of directors, when it gets big like that, it oftentimes goes out of individuals' hands and just becomes the collective consciousness of more and more and more. And innocent people will oftentimes get sucked into what could be perceived as an evil agenda. But I don't think it's evil. I think it's basically, we want to make more money. Let's do what the hell we have to. And the scientist says, okay, I guess I could add this ingredient, although it is kind of poisonous. It should be okay. And then they run it through some quick testing and say, it's fine. And then the director of the board is being pressured by the stockholders. And he's like, fuck it, just send it out there. We just need to make money. And it's basically thousands of people who have diffusion of responsibility. Well, it wasn't my fault that happened. He did it. And it wasn't my fault. I told him to do it, but he's the one that pulled the trigger. So I think that's a big part of it. There aren't necessarily evil people out there. It's a collective consciousness of greed that basically puts poison in front of us and tries to get us to consume it. So again, boys, be more pragmatic, be more conscious of what you're consuming, because it's mostly those kinds of products that are reducing your testosterone. And if you want to be that next level dude, you have to take your life into your own hands and question every single thing they're trying to shove into your mouth or put on your skin or stick in your armpit, because a lot of it is indeed poison. Gentlemen, I do appreciate you listening. As a reminder, I drop podcasts on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so please stay tuned for the next one, and I will see you in the next episode.